people of Reddit who grew up on cartoons, that is your favorite cartoon? That's such a difficult question because there were so many great shows. Rugrats, Doug, Darkwing Duck, Ren and Stimpy, Chip and Dale, Rescue Rangers, SpongeBob, The Simpsons, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, Pokemon, The Tick, Animaniacs, Tiny Toon Adventures, DuckTales, Freakazoid, Hey Arnold, Reboot, Inspector Gadget. The list goes on and on. There's too many to pick a favorite. Nothing will ever beat Bugs Bunny and the Warner Brothers cartoons like Foghorn Leghorn, Elmer Fudd, Daffy Duck, etc. Modern cartoons, I would go with Samurai Jack. Born in '89, there were so many incredible shows, it's impossible to pick one, but through the '90s we had Care Bears, TMNT, Inspector Gadget, Rugrats and countless incarnations of Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, and X-Men. Edit Bobby's World, Animaniacs, Hysteria, Magic School Bus, Arthur, Mr. Bumpy. Tom and Jerry. Surprised I haven't seen it here already, but that show dominated my childhood. My parents found certain shows annoying and so we weren't allowed to watch them. Still haven't seen an episode of SpongeBob, so I would watch every single Tom and Jerry episode I could find. I swear I've seen nearly all of them. I don't think they're making new Tom and Jerry shows, and supposedly the new movie was complete trash and focused too much on the humans, so frown. Dungeons and Dragons. My religious aunt told my mom I shouldn't watch that cartoon, and mom said oh he's gonna watch it every Saturday. And sure enough, every Saturday mom made sure we watched it to spite her sister. My mom is awesome. There's nothing quite like Courage the Cowardly Dog that has come before or after it. It's my favorite show even after all this time, though perhaps the upcoming anime The Girl That Sees Them might come close. OMG, I have a lot, but we'll mention only a few of them, some from Disney, Hercules, Milan, and some from Nickelodeon. Hey Arnold, Jimmy Neutron, SpongeBob. There are more, but these above I can watch again and again. So, this is a little different, and maybe not quite what I asked for, but for me, my favorite cartoon I liked to watch was Homestar Runner back during the halcyon days of the internet. Every Monday I looked forward to a new Strong Bad email, or a new cartoon, or even a game released by the Chaps Brothers, all for free, no ads, no sponsors, nothing. They were funny, cleverly made, and well voice acted. They still occasionally make things even today, and they still haven't lost their touch. Airbender. The 2000s was a gold mine for cartoons, but I especially felt connected to this show. In my opinion, the world building and character development was incredible, making the whole show feel alive. The show also discussed themes considered dark for a kids' TV show such as war and genocide. Drawn together, sort of a shock-toon with a bunch of depraved characters. Also, of course, Looney Tunes, because in today's woke world you wouldn't see cartoon characters dropping anvils on or firing cannonballs at their adversaries. Kind of a three-way tie for me between Beavis and Butthead, SWAT Cats, The Radical Squadron, and the Mighty Ducks animated series. And before someone comments that no, I didn't devolve into a furry, these shows just held so much to me. Beavis and Butthead was usually something I saw when I went to my mom's place on the weekends. Rescue Rangers, Darkwing Duck, Tom and Jerry, Looney Tunes, A-Team, Gem, G.I. Joe, so many. We didn't have cable, so anything on Disney or Nickelodeon was a rare treat. As a parent, I love Gravity Falls, Star vs. the Forces of Evil, Adventure Time, Apple and Onion, so many good ones. Boondocks is really good, and Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Cartoon Network all the way. My personal favorites: Ben 10, Ultimate Alien, Johnny Bravo, Dexter's Laboratory, The Powerpuff Girls, Chowder, The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, Captain Planet and the Planeteers, Samurai Jack, Space Ghost Coast to Coast, Codename, Kids Next Door, The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack. I grew up on Ren and Stimpy, Rocco, Real Monsters and, I know it ain't kids show but I stayed up for it, Duckman. I'm from UK but they and many like them were the absolute best. Then I also watched fucked up manga movies when I was too young. If you watched Akira when you were 8 gimme a salute lol. Years later Ray found Flapjack and it has similarly adult fucked up themes. Fucking love Flapjack, not saying it's underrated but it certainly doesn't get enough love for how fantastically amazing, messed up and lovely it is. A true successor to the best. If I have a favorite, but Foster's Home was great, Codename Kids was pretty cool, Avatar of course fantastic, SpongeBob, Ben 10 was pretty great. Then there is Pokemon, which I think was in Hoenn, Sinnoh, and Unova when I was growing up. Then there were the superhero ones, like Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Iron Man Armored Adventures, and bits of others. Honestly, though I couldn't tell you which I liked the most back then. Here is a big list of some of my favorite shows ever. Family Guy, yes even modern Family Guy, My Life as a Teenage Robot, SpongeBob SquarePants, The Simpsons, The Loud House, Cat Scratch, Danny Phantom, South Park, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, Robot Chicken, Courage the Cowardly Dog, We Bare Bears, Gravity Falls, Bob's Burgers, Beavis and Butthead, Ren and Stimpy, Rocco's Modern Life, Cat Dog, Garfield and Friends, Regular Show, The Flintstones, King of the Hill, Squidbillies, Supergal, Arthur, Mr. Meaty, El Chavo, the animated series, Curious George, The Amazing World of Gumball, Apple and Onion, Rick and Morty and Mad. I have pretty weird taste when it comes to cartoons, but yeah, these are all my favorites. Well, it's a toss-up. My first thought is Animaniacs because my 10-year-old student must have a dad my age. He is constantly quoting Animaniacs and singing the theme. But on further reflection, probably Batman the Animated Series or Dragon Ball Z. I have a few actually. The first few are anime. The first is Precure as I grew up with the original dub on TV and have followed it ever since. The second anime is Tokyo Mew Mew, Mew Mew Power. As for cartoons I have followed Winx Club since I was little and am still a huge fan. Netflix did Flora and Techna dirty, especially Techna. Not even a name drop. So many in the 90s were awesome, but this is an easy one for me. X-Men the animated series, and The Simpsons were my absolute favorites growing up. Early returns for my kid, and me, so far for his childhood are Rescue Bots and Adventure Time. Got to go with the Mainframe Entertainment triple threat of Reboot, Beast Wars, and Shadow Raiders, or War Planets for those non-igloo dwellers out there. The world building, darker themes, overarching plot lines, character development, and the general respect of the intelligence of kids watching were revolutionary. With the exceptions of maybe Batman the Animated Series and Gargoyles, that had never been seen before, at least in Western cartoons. Dave the Barbarian Brandy and Mr. Whiskers Brace Face Total Drama Island SpongeBob 16 Fairly Odd Parents My Dad the Rockstar The Replacements. There's so many I'm probably missing but these are all I can think of. I grew up in Canada so some might just be Canadian classics, hee. The Pink Panther or Tom and Jerry. Anyone else remember the episode when the Pink Panther got into a clothes dryer and came out a floating ball of fluff? I don't know why that scene sticks with me like it does. I loved it so much. Transformers is to have been my favorite. But I was latchkey kid. I was pretty much glued to the TV for most of my childhood. So I love a lot of cartoons. One of my other favorites was an obscure one called Galaxy High. It only got one season, but I watched it every time it popped up on TV. I feel like it might have inspired the RPG teenagers from outer space. Crypto the Super Dog, Dragon Tales, Rugrats, Invader Sim, Teen Titans, K&D, Kim Possible, Danny Phantom, Johnny Test, Berenstain Bears, Franklin, Ed, Edd and Eddy, Cat Dog, Flapjack, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, The Proud Family, Billy and Mandy, My Life as a Teenage Robot, Recess, My Gym Partner's a Monkey, Cyber Chase, Clifford, Powderpuff Girls, Tom and Jerry, and of the Looney Tunes, Johnny Bravo, Total Drama Island, Very Odd Parents, Popeye, SpongeBob. Man, I miss watching cartoons as a kid, especially Saturday morning. Literally the best thing is waking up early to watch cartoons while everyone else is asleep. I don't know about others, but I was into American movies. I'm not American. I was literally obsessed with cartoons from Cartoon Network when I was a kid, but unfortunately my parents used to resent those cartoons, because they were kind of gross and inappropriate for kids, so they used to forbid me to watch these cartoons, but all in all, those ones were absolutely amazing and really entertaining, because I could just literally get stuck in a TV laying on my couch and just savor these cartoons. The most radiant cartoons which pop into my mind are Gumball, Adventure Times, Titans and so forth. I grew up on a lot of cartoons, but honestly it was more the people that got me into them or that I watched with. I remember sitting down and watching cartoons next to my dad, or watching Adventure Time because of a college student who was like the brother I never had. Edit Storie to break their wholesomeness. The answer is Polly Chubby Bunny. It's an amazing cartoon smile. Tom and Jerry Show, and Charlie Brown, also Looney Tunes. I love the classics. It's all my mom would let me watch as a kid lol. She had the DVDs and stuff. We didn't have TV, so we had mad DVDs. It's pretty rad having a little TV and all the movies your child brain could think of. We used to have a DVD store where we could rent movies and get snacks. How many of you guys remember video stores? Hahaha, good times. Can still smell the carpet and popcorn. Pokemon ruled my childhood. Honorable mentions to Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Tom and Jerry, or Rugrats, Lizzie McGuire. Ones that I don't see mentioned very often that I remember really enjoying were Totally Spies, Braceface and As Told by Ginger. I am a huge fan of post-WI Warner Brothers Bugs Bunny and other WB cartoons of that era. One cartoon has thousands of frames, all hand-drawn and hand-painted. The backgrounds are beautiful works of art that could stand on their own. And the music? Well, the music by Carl Stalling is absolutely wonderful. I grew up on the uncensored versions of Bugs Bunny and Roadrunner cartoons, but I really like Adventure Time even though it came out when I was in my 40s. I don't really think prime time and late night animation shows like The Simpsons and Rick and Morty are really cartoons. Transformers and JoJo were on right at like 3 and 3:30 as soon as I got home from school on weekdays. Voltron was also a favorite, as was watching Gumby and Speed Racer reruns on early Nickelodeon I think in the early M while getting ready for school. Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? 100% I scared myself into not sleeping for a while after watching The Creeper and the Green Ghost episodes. The movies during that time are also amazing, especially Zombie Island and Witch's Ghost. Cartoons were the best. Getting up early on Saturday mornings to watch cartoons with a bowl of sugary cereal was the best. My favorite cartoons were Bugs Bunny and The Tweety Show. So much of my knowledge of music came from this show. Disney's Fillmore. This show was the beginning of my love of crime drama. Pokemon/Digimon/Yu-Gi-Oh! Taught me that you can do anything with good friend and great determination. Original Justice League was probably the first great cartoon I watched. Unlimited is awesome too. Sticking with DC, I recent binge-watched seasons 1 and 2 of Young Justice, which are amazing, especially 1. For Disney, Phineas and Ferb is my favorite, and SpongeBob, of course. there would be a half-hour show that would come on for the years I was in grade school. Just a half-hour eating a Pop-Tart. Most memorable was Beast Wars, Transformers. Prior to that it was Garfield. Then it was on to the bus. Always bummed out when the next show came on and have to leave. Samurai Pizza Cats. For an older one I would go with Tom and Jerry. Probably the funniest thing I have ever watched. Me and my grandpa loved watching it together when I was a kid and he would die laughing each time. And I mean, look how many memes there are of Tom and Jerry, and there are many more who are undiscovered. For a more modern one, probably Samurai Jack. Jack is that perfect balance of being serious and badass, while also being a bit goofy. Also, I like that it teaches a lot of life lessons, while not telling people what they are and beating them with a stick, which is what I dislike about most modern cartoons. I would go to battle and die on that glorious field for drum roll please Adventure Time. I think it's basically impossible to conceive of a cartoon that is more cartoon than that, and also as good too, up to a certain point. Like after the Lich storyline, they kinda lean into the kiddie shit too much in later seasons, and frankly I don't like the newer stuff anywhere near as much. What little I've seen. Disclosure: I did not grow up with Adventure Time. My favorites growing up were Scooby-Doo and the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Looking back at those shows now, my favorites are now Courage the Cowardly Dog and Invader Zim. Always wanted to watch Invader Zim when it was first aired, but it never seemed to be on at the right time. There are so many, but to name a few that I have not seen here. Teen Titans. I loved this cartoon when I was a kid. I don't know when they replaced it with Teen Titans Go, but I doubt it compares to the original. Ben 10. I was addicted growing up. It was right up there with Pokemon for me. Dragon Tales 2. Life with Louie, in my language adaptation ... And then you grow up, go to the theater and you recognize the voices that made your childhood and you instinctively look for people your age in the crowd, you make eye contact and you're both like calm ... Isn't that ... insert character? Best feeling in the world. The fact that there aren't enough mentions for Ben 10 is disheartening. Yes, it went downhill due to the reboot we should erase from our memory, but the original is just something basically want out of a cartoon. Banger theme song, anime-inspired aesthetic, excellent concept on the alien and superhero genre, great side characters, and excellent storylines. Alien Force, Ultimate Alien, and Omniverse were great too, but I have so much nostalgia and appreciation for the original. Great cartoon, highly recommended. It has to either be Pokemon or Courage the Cowardly Dog for me. Pokemon is just Pokemon, no doubt about that, but Cord CD was something I was absolutely scared of but couldn't stop watching it. But seeing that Pokemon isn't really that great anymore, I got to hand it to Cord CD. So many influential ones to list. Codename Kids Next Door was one. Ed and Eddie with the final movie still pulls at the heartstrings. And maybe Zealand Showdown. They all got pretty deep near their ends, and watching them at the time was so difficult as the new episodes were always when I had to go to school. I'm 43 and still watch them. I pretend it's because of my kids, but number. I freaking love cartoons, Gravity Falls, and Scooby-Doo. And when I get the chance I'm watching the Batman animated series. Got girls, they won't watch it, dagnammit. I bet people forgot about so many of these. Rocket Power, Cat Dog, Hey Arnold, Chalk Zone, Danny Phantom, the Scooby-Doo where they are really young. Can't remember the exact name. Dexter's Laboratory, Animaniacs, Recess, The Roadrunner Show, The Wild Thornberrys, The Amanda Show, Drake and Josh, Invader Zim, Maggie and the Ferocious Beast, The Oblongs, and Big Comfy Couch. Just off the top of my head. The Wild Thornberrys, SpongeBob, Powerpuff Girls, Ed, and Eddie, Hey Arnold, The Rugrats, Rocket Power, Kim Possible, Winx Club, Billy and Mandy, Kids Next Door, Courage, Totally Spies, Sakura Card Captor, and Pokemon. I know so many. I'd always go back and forth depending on what was playing. Also, I'm sure I'm missing a few. Added comas. Gravity Falls, Tom and Jerry, Dragon Tales, Ninja Hattori, Shinchan, Kairitsu, Ben 10, Doberman, Courage. Are You Afraid of the Dark, Backyard Science, Art Attack, Power Rangers Jungle Fury, Scooby-Doo, Recess. Port Henry. I'm sure there's more but I only remember these.